Let me call to order the meeting of August 4th, 2016 of the Ayer Planning Board. And first item is to ask for a motion to approve the agenda as posted.
Agenda?
Right.
Minutes.
Yeah.
I thought you meant minutes from last.
Well, we'll do that in the agenda, but just in case there are any known changes to the agenda right now?
No.
Okay.
Motion.
Motion approved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous for the three of us. Note that Jeff did have a business commitment and is unable to attend tonight. So let us carry on. The minutes of July 14th are yet to be written, and in fact, just for public knowledge, the minutes of July 14th are simply going to say that we met and we did review the documents that we work under, and that's a continuing process. The later in the agenda, we're going to set a meeting for September sometime for the continuation of that effort. But for right now, it's still a work in progress. So that, although it says approved meeting minutes of July 14th, that'll be a one or two line phrase that says we met and it's a work in progress. So that said, Woodland Way, first up, Ridgeview Realty Trust, modification of subdivision, and potentially to sign the certificate. But before I do that, and introduce Steve Mulaney again, who we all know and love. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I would like to ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Okay.
We're closing the public hearing?
On Woodland Way? Yeah, unless you feel this
No?
item is
Second.
undone.
Second?
Yeah, I'm assured from everything I've got so far that everything is done.
Right. I mean, the superintendent did
Yeah.
respond.
Right.
I was only interested to see if there were any butters that had any other issues.
Yeah.
They haven't.
Yeah. And with that, do I have a second?
I said second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. That said, I feel comfortable with signing the certificate tonight for the certificate of approval of a definitive subdivision modification, specifically Woodland Way, which is before us. Now, I know that we will normally sign Mylar, they're just not ready tonight. That'll happen in September. With that in mind, do we have, Sandy, a date for September's meeting?
The 1st of September, I believe it is.
Everybody available? I know it's Labor Day weekend.
It's
I'm
the
good.
Thursday before Labor Day.
Yeah, she,
Yeah.
Thursday's usually.
So Thursday, the date,
September 1st.
September 1st. Okay. 6 o'clock? Good. That good with you, Steve?
Sounds great.
Good, good. Okay, I would hope then that you've had a chance, as Sandy, I know, put it out to the board. Did you have a chance, and are we ready with a motion to approve the certificate of approval for definitive subdivision modification of Woodland Way? Okay?
What? Did you
I'm
have issues?
putting in so I don't forget to come here on September 1st.
September 1st.
Excuse
Okay.
me.
Well, I'm going to get your cell phone. I'll help you out, buddy.
She did good. Okay, I'm all set. I'm sorry?
A motion to approve the certificate of approval.
So moved.
So moved. Seconded, Jen? Okay.
Second.
For good order, I asked the vice chair to read it into the record.
Okay, so the Ayer Planning Board will vote in favor to grant the conditional approval of the definitive subdivision plan entitled Woodland Way, issued April 12th, 2016, being plan number 2D68, sheets 1 to 28, prepared by S.J. Mulaney Engineering, Inc., in accordance with Master General Law, Chapter 41, Section 81R, Paragraph D9, in the November 20, 2003 settlement agreement by and between Crabtree Development Corp. and the Town of Ayer Planning Board. The Planning Board rules and regulations are waived as follow. I'm just going to go ahead and read the section. So section 4A2A, section V5A. The decision is subject to the conditions and limitations and restrictions outlined herein. The decision modifies the Planning Board April 28, 2004 certificate approval of definitive subdivision. The April 28, 2004 decision for Ridgeview Heights recorded in Middlesex Southern District Registry of Deeds, book number 50157, page 19. The decision also modifies the Planning Board's July 12, 2007 certificate of approval of a definitive subdivision modification, July 12, 2007 decision for Ridgeview Heights recorded in Middlesex Southern District Registry of Deeds, book 501157, page 169. The proponent shall gift parcel 1 to the Town of Ayer for municipal purposes prior to the final release of performance guarantee. Woodland Way definitive subdivision modification decision. Oh, excuse me, that's the title. Sorry. For the last sentence of paragraph D8 in the settlement agreement shall be replaced by the developer must complete construction of the water storage tank prior to the the issuance of occupancy permit number lots 66 to 69, 132B, 133B, 134A, 141B, 145A, Q, and R. Condition 6 in the April 28, 2004 decision shall be appended with excerpt that the alterations to existing natural features depicted on plan number 2D68 shall supersede those depicted on plan number L7322.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair.
Yep.
Could we make a motion to waive the reading as printed?
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
3 more pages.
You've made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Sorry.
With the caveat that it would be, you mean, as indicated on document 4 August 2016, because
Correct.
we'll date it tonight. Okay.
Is that all right with you, Steve?
With that amendment.
Yeah, you know what we could do in the future maybe is just like do condition 6 and then just highlight the one section, you know, so that it's a little easier and I'm not getting into
Right. Because Steve's got an original to sign, and I think Sandy has too. So I'd like to sign both of them, so he gets one and we get one.
Okay.
So moved. Any further discussion?
Negative.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Then Sandy, if you've got the original, I think, over there. And Steve,
Yeah.
let's send them around the table and get them signed. And, I think we want to fill in the dates on top.
Yeah. The one I brought, I put the date.
Oh, okay, good.
on.
Well, why don't you-
Yeah, I got ahead.
That's why I like you. Okay.
You just have to put the number of voters.
Okay. Well, how did you know we were going to vote 3 to nothing?
I didn't put that part in.
You didn't? I just wrote it in.
Is this word unanimous?
Okay, let's find the signature page here. Okay, there's one mark.
Steve, you usually get a copy of these.
It's 2. Yeah, one to Sandy and one to back to Steve. Okay, all of that said, I take it we'll see you in September with, do you have any questions of the board?
No questions. When I come back in September, I'll bring the covenant that the board will have to execute
Right,
and the Mylars.
good, good. I'll see you on September 1st, if not sooner.
Thank you for your time today.
Take care.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay, here's the minutes for Sandy. I'll just sign those. Okay, item next, general discussion. Calvin has sent Nick Pauling to represent him. Nick, welcome to the Air Planning Board meeting.
Hi, thank you. Apologize for Mr. Moore's absence. Beach chair, I think was calling his name.
I'd like to frame the discussion by basically saying that I think the crux of the matter with Nashua Street Extension is the installation or not of granite curbs, correct?
Correct.
And that there is some debate and, if not dispute, over whether or not the planning board required granite curbing by way of their August 24 meeting, 2014,
Yep.
August 7, 2014 meeting. So at last meeting, we said we would review the tape, which I have done, and I actually see where Rick Roper did specifically say he wanted granite curbing. Now, here's where the planning board is at. If there is any further dispute on the curbing, I have asked Mark Wetzel, and I deferred his attendance when Calvin said he couldn't come. And then I found out later, at the last minute, that
Okay.
you were coming.
Okay.
So, for me, as your chair, I would say to you that rather than go into the legalese of opening up a 2-year-old meeting, by everything I have read, I would say to Mark Wetzel and Calvin, get together and fix it. By that I mean because DPW had an understanding that granite curbing was quote unquote required, when in fact it's not.
Correct.
So therein may lie some of the dispute.
And if I
Well,
may...
let me finish
Oh,
my
sorry.
thought.
Sorry.
And then that said, well, as near as I can tell, there was no discussion to the opposite. There was in fact discussion that we wanted sloped granite by way of the tape. That's the way I saw on the motion made by Rick Roper. So my bottom line for me personally right now at this point, unless overwhelmingly convinced otherwise, is I'm not inclined to pursue the legalese of opening up a 2014 meeting. Now, that said, I would open up to the board and see what you guys think.
I think I'm of the same opinion that, I think I said this at one meeting before where I felt that if the superintendent was okay with it, and felt that it was, I don't know the proper term for it, but not substantial of modification, and that something could be introduced that would be okay for
Yeah,
curbing.
yeah.
And consistent with what we've done in the past.
Yeah. Well, again, I can only go case by case. I can't.
I think the board in the past has deferred something like that to the superintendent to make
right.
that determination as to whether it's a substantial modification.
But again, my frank position right now is that having heard Rick Roper say he wanted granite curbing, and that was in the motion, but that's the way it stands.
If I may,
Yeah.
I do remember Mr. Roper talking about granite curbing, about how he has to put it in his own subdivision, which I
Right.
believe you just talked about. I believe he also mentions how the regulations and where he puts it in is per the regulations at the intersections of roads for the full curvature plus the transitional piece, which he did say that he wanted, and
Right.
there's no intersections within that subdivision, so it wouldn't apply. I believe earlier in the meeting, Mr. Roper also said it doesn't seem, I think he used the word right, I haven't watched it in a while, for the town to require something they don't put on their own roads, and there was some other discussion about it. I can understand.
That's not a good argument.
I understand. I will say that while I wasn't part of the design of that, it was a staff member who's no longer with us. I've kind of picked up the pieces, if you will. There was discussion from the original design to what the plans show. And I think more of the issue that Mr. Moore has is there are 3 types of curbing proposed: sloped bituminous, vertical granite behind the catch basin, and sloped granite within the circular turnaround radius. What the issue is the endorsed plans by the former chairman of the planning board was he crossed out every call for the sloped bituminous along the longitudinal path of the road and said this has to be sloped granite. That's a difference of, I think, 500 feet when you go both sides.
Right.
So from a standpoint of cost of installation, you go from $4 to $5 a foot to 27 to 30. So from an interpretation of reading minutes that were written after the fact, and having, the approved plan have this crossed out, Mr. Mortis wants some clarification. I was under the impression when he asked me to attend this meeting that Mr. Moore and Mr. Wetzel have already discussed this.
They probably have.
And they're in agreement that he's fine with not putting it in. I was under the impression he was going to be here tonight, so I would have rather have had him say that. So I'm kind of at the same point. I don't want to push back on you. I kind of came in just to be a fly on the wall and answer any questions that you had directly if needed, and kind of report back to Calvin. If your purview or thoughts of the board is to say you're fine with whatever Mr. Wetzel wants, stop bickering, then I'll report
where
back.
it's at.
Yeah.
That's really where it's at.
I'll report back to Mr. Moore.
I'd be happy with that.
Right.
If Calvin and Wetzel
Right.
get together and say,
and know
we
that
agree.
I went right after the last meeting, I went right over to Mark and I said, look, why are we requiring something we didn't have as a firm regulation? And he said, well, it was a proposal that never got approved. Well, the fact that it never got approved, then you can't require it. So work out wherever the slope granite may or may not be genuinely needed because of erosion and
Well, if the curbing was installed per the plan, ignoring the strike-throughs of the chairman, I think Mr. Moore would be perfectly fine with that. He was fine with that before we issued the plans. And,
right. Well, that's why it's in the hands of
right.
superintendent. Now, again, I apologize. Well, I don't know that I apologize. Mark was going to be here.
Yeah.
Calvin was going to be here,
Yeah.
and I was hoping they would say, "Hey, we have fixed this."
Well, the other part, as far as this substantial change, as far as reveal with Cape Cod curbing versus the slope, it's the same width, same slope, same reveal. It's just the material itself, and the cost of installation is really the thing. So as far as it's not, the road isn't going to be affected by putting one in versus the other or anything like that.
Oh, here comes Mark now.
Oh boy,
good.
he saw us on television.
I thought he
and said,
wasn't
"I'm getting
coming,
over
Sam."
it."
He had the meeting. It must have ended a little bit earlier.
Oh, he
than
went going to a
thought.
different meeting.
No, I think he's here. Yep. That's a good thing.
There he is, speaking of the devil.
Right on cue.
Come on up, Mr.
Come
Wetzel.
on up.
Are you here for our planning board meeting? Good. Oh, I was led to understand that you weren't coming.
I had another meeting, I wasn't sure how long it
Oh,
was
okay,
gonna,
okay.
so we
Well,
did just finish our other meeting.
Let me encapsulate for you. National Street Extension, you and I talked, we said get with
Yeah.
Calvin and fix whatever the granite curving question was. Are you happy with doing that?
Well, I don't think anything's gonna change. I've talked to Calvin on a couple of occasions about it, and he's basically gonna build what's on the plans.
So,
Without the strike-through? So granite everywhere, or prior
No,
to
it's gonna be,
bituminous on the
it's
longitude?
not without the handwritten notes on there, so
So that's
it's basically Cape Cod berm with slope granite at the bottom at the cul-de-sac.
So that's exactly, I think, what we're asking for. So
That, I mean, you know, I don't know how you make him do something different than what's on the approved drawings.
And you're okay with that?
Well, if that's what the planning board wants to approve, you know, I mean, I went through, I don't know if you have a copy of, I went through
I
my
do.
original recommendations. And, you know, there were some things that, if we went back in time, I don't know, you know, this is what I was looking at is, you know, he got a waiver on sidewalks, and I recommended it.
Okay,
was sidewalks on one
here's what
side
I
of
would
the
like
street.
to do then. July 1, 2014, Nick, have you seen that document
July, I'm sorry.
from the planning board? From
So
the,
well, this
from
was
the
my
DPW?
original
Yes,
letter,
I have.
and then I went
Okay.
through it today and
Yeah.
marked up some.
Yep.
Let me ask you this, are you comfortable complying with the requirements of the July 1, 2014 document? Because that will put this item to rest.
Mr. Wetzel's review?
So what I did was I marked on red what are still issues or comments on things that, so the,
Because right now, as near as I can tell, granite curbing was required by way of the August 7th, 2014 meeting, from everything I've read and everything I've seen on videotape. Irrespective of whatever
And-
Jeremy
and-
did
and-
writing on it.
and it was agreed, like you know, I have an October 9th letter to the Conservation Commission that I had met with Calvin and J.P. Connolly, who was the
Right.
engineer at the time, on October 2nd. Because they were submitting to the Conservation Commission. And what we agreed to at that, based on this letter, was that I said the DPW will require slope granite curbing instead of bituminous Cape Cod berm shown in the revised plans. I've discussed this with the engineer. The final design will be revised to show slope granite curbing in all locations where Cape Cod berm is shown. The limits of the curbing shown on the revised plans are acceptable.
Right. So,
And then I never saw any revised plans, and then I thought those were gonna be resubmitted, and then that's when I went through the
Right.
stuff from the planning board office and the conservation,
so
and didn't find anything.
Nick, here is the general position of the planning board.
Yep.
If you can comply with the July 1, 2014 DPW comments, we're good. That's the end of it. Because
Well, the issue, sir, if I may, I think the curbing is discussed per the plans, but if I agree to this, I'm also saying now I have to put in a sidewalk. So that's on top of this, of the plan set. So I can't fully say yes to you.
Yeah, so just so I can reiterate what my issues are, you know, sidewalk, whether it's there or not, I'm not sure why the plan was approved without a sidewalk, but I've never seen any plans with a sidewalk on it. And it does change the layout significantly. They would have to regrade everything and get a sidewalk in, because it is a relatively tight site. But I just, you know, our requirements require a sidewalk on both sides. And I said, well, how about one side? And he ends up with no sides.
Well, the requirements are 2 sidewalk areas and 1 constructed.
That's correct. But anyway, you have none. You know, what Calvin always keeps saying to me is, well, slope granite curb's gonna cost me a lot of money, and I'm already looking at everything that got waivers on, that he's saving a lot of money. So I don't quite buy his argument. I know street lighting has been brought up by the chief of police, and that was one of my recommendations.
yeah, I meant only as regards the granite curbing, by the way. We're getting off
Okay.
track
You
here.
don't want to get into the other stuff?
Because the motion, according to the August 7th, 2014 video, shows that Rick Roper required the granite curbing. So
Okay.
that to me is a done deal. You know,
I wasn't
And the
aware
board
of
is
that.
not inclined to reopen a meeting from 2 years ago, based on, by the way, irrespective of whatever Jeremy did, he wasn't even at the meeting. And there's nobody here in the room that was at that meeting.
Well, I was at the meeting, but I left
So-
for that portion.
Well, I mean, at least as far as I'm talking about the planning board.
Yeah.
It was other past membership. So failing that, I have to say we require granite curbing. And if that's still in dispute, then it becomes unfortunately a continuing legal matter, which I don't think neither of us want to do. That's why I've asked Mark to get with Calvin. So is that the will of the board?
It's fine with me.
Is that different than
Okay.
what you've talked with Mr. Moore about this morning?
I talked to him
Yeah.
right after I talked to you.
Yeah.
And at that point, I didn't know which, the set of drawings I had weren't the approved drawings. So
Yeah.
then Nick sent me those drawings, but then I said, well, I thought there was an interim drawing that was submitted to the Conservation Commission. And that's what I went looking for this morning. And did not find anything any different than what had been, than what I'd seen previously.
There wasn't.
There was never a plan that showed slope granite instead of.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
But I was told at the meeting they were going to change that.
So as we leave it,
Well, that's.
Mark and Calvin are gonna come back to us with an agreement.
Yeah. I mean, the granite curb, and at least, and again, as Mr. Roper made a motion to accept the Nashua Street extension with the provisions that the DPW comments were addressed, including granite. Now, that tells me clear as a bell
Where did you read that?
that reaffirms what I saw on TV when Rick Roper said he wanted granite curbing, and that's that.
I haven't watched it in a while. I thought he made a motion and then said, you're gonna address Mark's comments,
No,
right?
you've got to go, unfortunately, you've got to listen to a long discussion between the time the motion was made, and then, as every motion does, it says any discussion. Well, there was a healthy discussion, but the original motion said granite, so it's got to be left between Mark and Calvin to fix.
Okay.
Anything further?
So,
You have to have another definition, Cal.
so, if I understand this correctly, the board's fine with Mr. Wetzel, and it's between Mr. Wetzel and Mr. Moore now.
Yes? Yeah.
I just want to be crystal clear, sorry. Thank you very much.
And that was one of my questions with Calvin. I said, what are you building so that I know what I need to
Right.
inspect?
I mean, they comment, for example, now not to belabor this, but now, without looking at the plans, so I don't have them, Calvin says, I agree the granite curbing on the radius and all catch basins. That to me is the heart of the issue. That's really what we want, as a minimum, right?
Well, as a minimum,
So,
but
Ooh,
there's also on the granite is just on the, that's shown on the plans. The granite's on the cul-de-sac.
yeah, I'm not looking for granite everywhere. I'm only looking for those erosion things on the, and the catch basins. That's, I think, what, now, I don't know why Jeremy did what he did, but he's not here, and probably won't be here again, because he's no longer a
You know,
voter.
my issue with the Cape Cod berm is, and you can go in any of the new subdivisions and look at it.
Yeah, yeah.
By the time we accept the street, it's already all been banged up
Right.
by the snow plows.
Well, again, bear in mind that we are, and I got your comment about wanting to attend our next session of reviewing our requirements. We are going to require that going forward. But we have to change our own rules first. It's only fair before we can have another developer come in and say, hey, you know, I'm playing by your rules and granite doesn't include that. Well, we need to look at that, make that inclusive. So, Sandy, make sure when we decide tonight, make sure we get ahold of Mark and hopefully he's available for our next seminar, working group session.
Calvin, you mean? or-
Okay?
Calvin or Mark?
So we're done? I think we're done.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, the only other thing I wanted to bring up, and I know this is really sort of a separate issue, is that, and because I talked to Calvin this morning about it. We brought a new water main down Taft Street to Nashua Street, and he's tying into a 6-inch water main. And I want that water main replaced, and it's not that many feet of pipe, and he's out there digging, it's not gonna cost him that much more, and I'll even buy him a pipe if he wants to. But I don't wanna have a road that's all been repaved and everything with an old cast iron pipe under it that's gonna leak and we're gonna have to dig.
I think the next time you talk to him, he's gonna give you a bill for the pipe, so you need,
Well, like I said, I just don't wanna redo a whole road
right,
and have a 1941 pipe under it.
right. Okay.
This is
So-
the time to fix it, and it's not that many feet, and, but,
Well, the two of you
We
discuss
need, we need
that.
you to work with him. Okay,
Yeah.
good, good.
No, we
Discuss
have a
that
good
with
relationship.
Granite,
Yeah,
and I'm sure
yeah,
you
no,
can
it's
come
still
to an
safe,
agreement.
Yep,
he is more stubborn than me.
Do we have a moratorium on roads too, once you pave them?
Yes, 5 years.
okay, good.
Just wondering what.
At your convenience, if you'll report back that all is well, that ends well.
Yep,
Yep.
okay.
And Nick, I think we're actually done, are we not? I mean, as far as
I hope so.
on the paperwork side, well, I mean,
Yeah, I don't think there's any paperwork.
right,
Yeah,
right. It's
anymore
just the
with
devil's in the
planning board.
details. Okay.
Correct, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Correct.
So are they doing covenants on lots for a bond? Is that how that's?
For Nashua Street,
Yeah,
it was a covenant that's already been executed.
okay.
Today? Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cleared a bunch of things up. Mark, this doesn't apply to you, but the surety bond, that doesn't,
What is it?
surety bond for Air Solar, you don't need to be here for that.
No,
Okay,
not
good.
unless you want me to.
No. Okay, good.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thanks.
Sandy, would you put all this in a 1 September folder? We'll just take a relook at, hopefully it gets done by then. And extra $1 for the paperclip.
Hi,
Come on down.
how are you?
Forgive me, we haven't met. I
No.
think Sandy, you've talked to,
Yeah, I'm Andrew Bernstein from Kearsarge Energy. We're going to be the owner of the project.
Hi,
Nice to
Mark
meet you.
Romanian.
All right, Everett Telecom.
Everett?
Everett.
all right,
Excellent.
have a seat, please.
We're local. We both grew up in the state. We've done projects, Grafton at the Water District, 2 in Barry, Canton, 2 in Franklin at Mount St. Mary's Abbey, a bunch of projects throughout the
Okay.
state.
Well, once again, let me see if I can frame this a bit.
I'm reading off the planning board permit. It said the applicant and Ayer Planning Board agree to negotiate in good faith. So we had another partner, Rohit, who had developed the project. We're basically buying him out. We're going to own and operate for 20 years. So it said the applicant and the Ayer Planning Board agree to negotiate in good faith and enter into an agreement establishing a surety, ensuring panels and stands will be removed upon obsolescence and not abandoned.
Okay. So you're not Prometheus Power Group?
Prometheus Power Group, we entered into an agreement. Prometheus Power Group did all the development. We're going to basically, we've already have an agreement. We're buying out his share. We'll be the long-term owner of the project.
Okay, so it's Air Solar LLC for future reference?
Right.
Okay. Just so we keep our files straight.
We may change it to Kearsarge Air just for branding, but
Let's wait till that happens.
fine, not a problem. Sorry, we don't want to confuse things.
Okay.
But we've done projects throughout the state, so we have 20 megawatts of projects owned and operating right now. All our off-takers are public entities. The off-takers who will be buying the net meter, just in case you're interested for this, I know it's not directly relevant, will be private affordable housing. We've got that done. It's our own capital, we finance it with. We've got a bank, Cambridge Savings Bank, which we have a form of the surety.
Okay.
They'll be financing the project. And then the other piece for these solar projects, renewable energy project, is you sell the tax credits. So we have a third-party investor. It's pretty much standard financing.
Okay.
Comes in by the federal tax credits.
Our main purpose, I believe, is to get a surety bond in terms of if 20 years from now things change and you go away, how do we remediate the
Yeah,
site?
we do them on every project. So we brought 3 examples. One is the engineering group that builds the project. We do this in every project. They
Do
give
you have one that you would like us to agree to?
Yes.
Or do you want us to look at all 3 and
No.
Pick the
There's
worst
3
one.
different parts. So what we brought was, this is just the letter.
Yeah, these are 3 examples, but it's 1 example.
Right.
Just read
so if I were to say I'll sign this, this is the one you want me to sign?
So this is the letter from the engineering firm that says how much will it cost to remove it in 20 years.
The 42,000?
Right.
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 Yeah.
This is an example of an agreement that we've used. There's a typo on it, unfortunately. But this is an example of the agreement. We have to figure out how we build up that bond,
Right.
in what level. So this would be the example. We've used this with many towns. We're doing a project in Bellingham. We're doing one in Rehoboth, and it's a pretty standard agreement. And then this is the actual surety that we proposed. What we do is we have Cambridge Savings Bank. They just set up a letter of credit, and that's the best thing for us. It's fine for the town because it's Cambridge Savings Bank is how big are they now?
$6 billion.
$6 billion in assets, so it's a
Does
real
the one
bank.
you have include, is there any hazardous waste material involved here?
No, none.
Nothing with the solar panels?
No. No, so it's
Okay, no, is acceptable.
No, okay, fine. You had me in no. Okay. We're so used to talking about it, but it's all glass and steel,
Okay,
and there's no moving parts, no machine oil.
okay. And any issues on the site with erosion control?
We have a whole plan that's set up when we do building. We put up silt fences, but it's pretty flat, so we're not anticipating it. The challenge on this site was what the town wanted done because of the beaver dams,
Right.
which we're agreeing to take care of.
Right, right. Fencing?
We'll have standard fencing around the project that our insurance, we fully insure the projects, so it'll be an 8-foot chain link fence around the project. It'll have signs on it that say danger, don't enter. But the great thing about solar is in the middle of the day, I don't know if you have seen them, you can put your hand on the panel, you're not gonna burn your hand. The only issue is the same issue you have when you walk down the street, that you've got some of the high voltage equipment, which is sealed and locked, just like National Grid has or everyone else. And we do the exact same safety procedures that any utility would have. And that's within the facility anyhow, it's within the fence.
Questions, comments?
This is
Okay, could I see that,
Yeah, it's a standard LC. What we found, the question is, how quickly does the town want us to fund the surety or the LC in this case? Some towns.
Have you started any building yet? Before you do any building, we would like to have it in place.
Well, the question is, I think what was proposed in some of the other meetings was that we fund 25% of the costs in the first year and increase it over 5 years. In some towns, we don't start funding it until 10 years. The bank comes in. If we were to ever disappear in the first 10 years, the bank has the rights to step in and run the project because they've got the loan on it. So sometimes we started at year 11, sometimes we started at year 5.
Right.
It just depends on how comfortable you feel. You know, we're a strong financially backed company, but
Well,
we could disappear too. Those are those issues. So from our perspective, we'd prefer to start funding it later on, just because we pay a fee, of course, each year for the surety.
well, the thing is, anything you give us is gonna be run through legal anyway, for us. I know we all look like lawyers on TV, but, so,
No, I mean, the agreement that we've given you will certainly be run through your council. I'm just saying how we fund it. If
Right.
it's gonna be a total amount, do we fund it all in the first year? Do we fund it all in 5 years? And what was originally talked about when Prometheus Power put it in was that it would be funded over the first 4 years in 25% increments.
okay, and that's what's in here?
Well, we haven't, that's mostly boilerplate. We haven't put the final language in, depending on what we agree to tonight. So that's our proposal.
When do you plan on building?
We're gonna start, well, we've gotta do the culvert. We need to put a culvert to get across, a crossing. We gotta take care of the Beaver Dam. So most of that will occur probably, what do you think, Everett? End of August, early September?
For that site work, and the
Yeah.
actual construction and building may not be until the middle of September.
Yeah, and it may be even early October before we actually do the site work. We just, before.
So it's not unreasonable to ask that this be put in place before you
We
start
could-
building?
We could sign this agreement, we could fund the first 25, we could give you an LC that funds
Right.
25% of it before we start the actual construction. We'd like to do it when we start construction, not when we start the site work,
Right,
and that's fine.
yeah.
I'm back with the phase
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
Good.
Okay,
So we'll see you on 1 September with a final document to,
fine.
and
Do you want us,
again, keep in mind, we need a little time to run through our legal, but.
so we could send it to you, we could send all the documents updated early next week?
Sure.
Okay, great, all right, perfect.
Sandy, you good with that?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
if you want to send it to.
You're here early
Sure.
next week, right?
It's SBPEAN at air.na.us.
Yeah, okay.
Do you have a business card?
Do. Either that or a picture of my daughter. I vote for the picture of my daughter, but,
How old is she?
well, now she's 13.
Oh.
It's good.
Thanks.
Good, you know.
Did we get a card from Everett as well, or not?
In the
Yes,
car.
I've got one. I've got one.
I don't know if,
I had one left in my wallet.
great, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
The agenda that speaks to Caulfield and/or Calvin, because he's not here, I don't think we ought to be discussing that without him in the room. So I've asked Sandy to, I just found out, yesterday, that he wasn't able to attend, so I've asked Sandy to call and say, see you in September. Okay, so we move that out to 1 September.
Sounds good.
Why is it before the planning board?
Say again?
Why would it be before the planning board?
Quite frankly, I have two ideas. I mean,
It's really the board of selectmen.
Yeah.
right,
I don't think I'd be comfortable waiting
right,
until board of selectmen.
right. Well, whether or not he's got plans at the end or what, I don't know.
If he wants to share with us, I think that's great.
Yeah.
He might as well just not asking us to do a
Okay. It's all just 61A to me. I mean,
Where's it at, do you know?
It's the end of the Nashua Street extension, this one.
I thought just because there was a healthy discussion last time with Beth Sulemeyer and, you know, and if Calvin was gonna be on the room, we'd put it on the agenda and say, okay, well,
Oh, so it's part of that whole
yep.
discussion? Oh, okay.
But as far as us, unless he changes things, so. We will see that in September. Item next is general business, economic director, and we spoke about trying, until we can get another member, and I understand Jeff's got a couple of people in the wings, but we need to try and farm out some help. And Alan Minoyan has agreed to brief us once a month on MRPC and the joint transportation efforts. And once a month we'll find out if something strikes us through email or communication otherwise, and we have a meeting we want to go to, by all means we'll do that. But for right now, we just don't have enough people to put a quote committee member to that effort. So he has agreed to meet with them, and then as things occur, once a month we'll get a briefing from Alan. Is that good with? Yeah, good. Okay, so planning board vacancy, no, not yet? Okay, well, keep beating the bricks, all right. We hope then for September, I guess, to see our iPad monster board up.
Good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's supposed to be meeting Cindy Knox.
Okay. Schedule working group for September. What do you think? Mid-September? Sound about right?
Another workshop?
Yeah, for the next workshop?
Definitely want to make sure that Mark's.
Want to keep it on a Thursday night, because that seems to fit our schedule? What's up around the 14th of September?
15.
15 September?
Mhm.
Keep it at 6, just to keep things, and then
I don't know, should we
hopefully
try to
no-
do it a little earlier for staff so that we can get Mark here? What's the earliest you can get here, 6?
15, I'm in Santa Fe.
on the 15th, you're in Santa Fe, okay? So
For a week.
what's
22
My
would
son.
be the next
about
week.
22?
Coming back 21, so I can do that.
22 September, so good for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I kind of, I mean, again, I
Oh, what,
defer to you, but I think I'd like to keep 6 o'clock. Is that,
No, I was just trying to make it easier for Mark
yeah?
to get here. I think it's really good.
Well, he
He's-
definitely wants to come, so,
Mark Wetzel?
Mark, that's-
yeah.
Problem is I work Thursday nights, so I have to take it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So 6 o'clock is still good for you, hopefully?
Sure.
Yeah.
Get out
Let's
early.
leave it Thursday, the 21st?
Second.
At 6 o'clock. Good. Now, on that note, keep in mind that I think a meeting runs much better with having Sandy here, but we'll think about that going forward. If and when we, as a result of reviewing all our procedures and processes, if we think we need to change our scheduled meeting time, I certainly would like it to be in concert with Sandy's hours. Because it helps her being here. Anyway, something to think about going forward. Okay, Global Montello. Didn't we say we're gonna have a rep here or no?
No, not tonight. They haven't submitted any paperwork yet. They just had the early plan for consideration. And they've contacted, said that they're going to have to make some changes because of drainage, I believe it was. They're actually going to make the building smaller and be moving some parking and things around. So
Okay.
they have sent a plan, but they will be formally submitting their paperwork.
Okay, so we'll just put them on for September.
Mhm.
Well, there it is.
I think they just wanted to alert you that that was going to be going forward
Okay.
to
Is that
amend the plan.
15 Littleton Road?
It's the one down next to Jarvis, Global
Yeah.
Montello,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Will they be notifying the others?
I believe so. I would imagine it would have to go back to public hearing, wouldn't it?
Right.
And do the whole process, legal ad and, okay, yeah.
but we won't know that until we see what their final plan is.
Right.
Very odd, because it's already an approved plan.
Let's
So they
see.
want to reduce it.
Reducing it, changing it, I just want to make sure butters are aware, that's all.
The-
No,
It was a lot,
I
right?
understand. How often do you run into somebody saying, no?
I know.
That'll be the first time I've seen it, I gotta say that. Almost every plan I recall was wanting to get bigger and bigger.
And they haven't even put a shovel in the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I have
how do they
a
know about drainage?
email dated July 27th this year. Good morning, I was in front of the ZBA last week regarding the proposed new gas station in Ayer to obtain a one-year extension to a special permit for a variance. At the time, I discussed proposed changes to the project, smaller scale, and requested confirmation that site plan review would be required to make the proposed changes. At that time, I left copies of the existing and proposed plans with the clerk. I followed up with the building department this week, who agreed but deferred to the planning board. I was hoping to get confirmation that site plan review would not be required to make the proposed changes.
Who's that from?
Yeah.
This was from Scott Fenton,
Yeah.
their lawyer.
Yep.
Did they give a summary of the changes?
Well, the reason we haven't answered the question yet is
No.
that
We haven't seen a plan.
Well, yeah,
Right.
we've got the plan here, but,
In basic theory, if they're trying to shrink it, we probably don't have a problem with it, but we still want to see it before we approve.
My big thing was the drive-through, and proximity of it to the
I mean,
neighborhood on the other side. I just want to make sure
Yeah.
that
yeah, I gotta look at the,
do you want to take copies of the plan and take
No,
a peek
we
at
won't-
them and?
I would say we just call them and say, we have to get a copy of your final proposed plans
Or
before
I'll
we can tell you
make
whether
sure
the
that
site
this
plan
is
is
they just didn't
required.
fine.
apply to
Are-
executive, no, I can
Are
executive
those
summary
plans
of
you have,
changes.
Sandy, are those the proposed plans, or are those?
I
what's
believe
in
so,
place now?
yes, because this came in as the plan change.
Are they reducing the number
So,
of
and there's
pieces?
several copies here, so,
I wouldn't mind seeing the number of diesel pumps.
there's actually one here too that says new fuel station and retail store, so there's another one here too. This is another one.
This is the new plan? We're looking at?
Oh, I'm wondering if it's this one, actually. I wonder if it's the original. They didn't, I got this secondhand.
Well, this is
so they
only a
didn't-
draft, so I don't even think I want
They
to.
didn't,
Yeah, this one has a little revision. Oh, no, this one's 718.
and then there's this, Jen.
Okay, lot area 15,000 square feet, so that doesn't require. Retail store, 4,255, GFA, that doesn't require. I think you'll agree that, how many parking spaces? That is the question.
It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
we might want to just see the parking plan, I would think, would be my.
So 22 are required. 22 spaces are required.
Yeah, so that triggers site plan review right there.
But they're proposing, I guess, 20, looks like they have up to 24 spaces. So, 22 in the old plan, 24 now. Does that make sense?
So, there you go. Yes, no?
I'd still like to see them come in either way, though, to be honest with them. Even if, what, has Dave seen it? Has the building inspector given his?
I don't know. I'm just going by what the site plan triggered by the fact he's got 24 parking spaces.
On the, let's see, in the email, he says he followed up with the building department this week, who agreed but deferred to the planning board.
Right. So, the question I would guess is,
I say just table it until we talk to them.
exactly, go over the whole thing and say, is this your final plan? He's got a conceptual plan, he's got a draft plan.
Final answer?
Tell him we need to see him in September for whenever he
Okay.
is ready to say, this is my final plan.
Okay, and it's mostly the parking you have a question about?
Yeah, I would think so.
This one says 4,400 square feet, the draft says 3,800 square feet.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Pass.
And so we gotta wait,
Yeah.
just,
Next.
so you'll want these back, huh?
Okay. Unless somebody wants to study them, they can take them.
Yeah, you know.
You wanna keep that?
I think I would should that too.
Okay. Yeah, because conceptual, that's a nice concept.
Do you get them to give you the plans electronically as well?
I have been, and we've been putting them out on OneDrive, so I could just send you the link.
Yeah. I just think it would be nice too for residents to see it too.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now FYI, I know we talked in August about saying authorize the chair to sign these various documents that come through as to whether or not require a planning board action. So I just advise you that I include them in the minutes, just to let you know that I did sign some and they're going to go forward
Excuse me.
back to the
Chair?
ZBA. I mean, it's really,
That says variance documents. Did you mean various? Serious, I'm not,
variance, yeah, what did I say? I said variance.
I thought you meant various documents, different
Oh,
documents.
well, I did. Whatever documents that might be required by the chair, you know, we said. If the
Yeah.
chair,
So you just receive?
and I'm just advising you that I signed two of them, one for,
But you're not signing variance.
no.
Variances.
No.
There's
That's
copies,
what-
there's
that's
copies of what he signed in your packet.
Opinion on a variance
Yeah.
granted?
This is just a transmittal document of department head review. Have you seen these?
That was my question, Jim.
They're in your
It says
packet.
variance, but he's saying just various documents.
What was that, what was that one for?
This was somebody seeking a variance from Ayer zoning bylaw, rear setback requirements, which to me was a ZBA action, and not a planning board action. So anytime I feel it's not going to be a planning board action, I'll just sign them and say, yeah, we've seen it, thank you very much.
Okay.
That's pretty much what we
Yep.
have. I don't think we have an opinion on those things.
Let's see, what else have I got?
Jen, these were the two documents.
Oh, please.
They're in your packet,
Okay.
the two documents that he signed. They have red and green ink on them. It's towards the back, I think.
Okay, we give these back to Sandy for, okay. And back with Global Montello, see you in September. And now we're down to Emerson Road update by the Vice Chair. You attended something on Devon's, and how was it? And did we have a good time because you represented us?
Actually, just because my family emergency, they're just.
Oh, okay, well then. Okay, well. Item next.
Thank you for the
Jump on
update.
this?
Hopefully
Motion
you
to
made it on
adjourn?
camera.
Huh?
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
All there.
Aye.